Wait. Oh, I had no sound. I had no sound. Oh my god. Retarded. I thought you were saying the vacuum cleaner was loud. Because it is. But I was saying, thank you. I've been talking and wondering why no one knows what I'm saying. That makes a lot more sense now. I don't need these. I am moving overseas and there's boxes of clothes that I'm trying to organize, and it's a very disenfranchising time. It's like a Friday night and that's what I'm doing. I'm so bored. I'm that bored that I'm vacuuming on Friday night. It's a new level of, anyway. It's not, I mean, I could be doing worse things, in all fairness. There's worse things you could be doing than vacuuming. I might do like a get unready to, I don't know. Even if I don't go to bed, I kind of feel like I need to do like a routine to get cleaned up. And I'm very tired. I'm tempted to have a coffee. That's how tired I am. This looks dumb. It makes me look like a pirate. My god. Okay. Do I make another coffee? I don't know what you're holding, but I would like some interesting questions. Intelligent questions, not too intelligent because I'm not awake enough for that. Intelligent enough that it makes me think, but not so intelligent that it gives me brain damage. Please try and find some common ground in the middle. Okay, it's coffee time. This is the best, by the way. I don't know what you're asking. I said hi like 25 times, but again, I'll say hi to you. Hello. This is really good. I did say hi, I was just muted. I've been procrastinating by counting the coin jar and then organizing the coins into piles. That's the level of procrastination we're at, which is not good, actually. Is my microphone still not on? Or is it on? I don't know. I don't know if this is going to make me feel better or worse. I don't know what I'm meant to be answering, but pineapple. Weird, actually. It's like a pineapple fritter. I don't know how I feel about it. And it's a fish. I don't know what you are meaning. I'm so tired. I don't know if I can be a human right now. Where's my cat? Oh gosh, already going down my throat. And we need to go and get firewood, which we need to do now, which is going to be difficult to take. You with me? But you know what? I am a lady of commitment, so let's do it. All the way out here. Oh my gosh, I can barely see a thing. I think I can turn, surely I can turn the flash on. Can I? I don't actually think I can. But it's really just, it's just firewood. You just kind of, fire's like pretty much dead now. Well, I kind of just want to go sit by the fire and relax and do nothing. This is a kind of level of psychopath that I've been. I need to just chill at this point, I think. I guess at this point you're like, maybe you should just take a break. I don't know why I organised the coins. Actually makes no sense. I have not looked at that coin jar. Ever. I also put up some cars that I did an artistic impression of. That is a Porsche. That is a artistic impression of my vehicle when I had a very bad car crash. Drew a picture of it. Autism entered the chat. I feel like there's like context clues without me even needing to say anything. We have a selection of organised coins and some drawings. Artistic interpretations of things that happened to me. That's all I need to say. Hola. Hola. I'm trying to think about what I should do, because usually when I am on a live, I am busy doing something. But tonight I am pretty tired, extremely tired, and I can't think of anything. Literally, I can't think of a single thing. Oh well. This is iced tea with water, but it looks like urine, right? It just looks not all good. I think honestly I need to get comfy for bed, but it's kind of early to be going to bed, but I am quite tired, so who knows? Otherwise I'm just going to keep vacuuming, which is even less fun. Hello, I just came back from Texas, which is, what part of Texas are you from? Are you from Dallas, Houston, Austin, or San Antonio? Is that actually in Texas? I just made that up. I spent most of my time in Dallas. I'm just on a video. That's my flatmate. You guys call them roommates. Yeah, I got an auntie and uncle in Dallas, but I've probably spent a bit more time in Austin. Don't know if I like Austin anymore. I went through a phase of thinking it was really amazing, and now I don't feel like that. But not to say Austin isn't cool. Yeah, I had some interesting experiences there. I spent probably the majority. Where's Amarillo? Where's that? I did probably spend the most of my time in Austin, but I don't know where, because I can't look at it. I would be looking at it on my phone on my laptop, which is over there. I don't know where. I'm saying it in my Kiwi accent as well. I don't know where Amarillo is. I'm literally just sitting here like a non-player character. Like, what the fuck am I doing? This is next level tired. want to do something good that's like getting unready, or like getting ready for doing like my nighttime routine, I guess. But something that's going to make me feel good or like fresh. I can't have a bath because I still can't do that with the surgery stuff. I don't think I can have a bath for weeks, actually. Can't really think of anything. North of Boston. Yeah. I feel like I looked at some like cool, everything used to pop up on Airbnb, and it was these places in just random places in Texas, and they looked amazing. I wish it was always like not really close to me, but what's the weather like there at the moment? Because it must be quite good. The last time I was in Austin, it was, oh no, actually it was fine when I was there last, but when I was there the time before last time, it was frozen over, and then the next time I was there, it was actually really nice. And I was at the house I was at was at the highest point in Austin, and allegedly, can't confirm this, but I'm pretty sure Joe Rogan was next door, and I was just saying Joe Rogan in a voice trying to sound like Donald Trump. Joe Rogan! Joe Rogan! Just every day I was like, he's going to come out today. He didn't come out. The weather is nice there. I might actually be back in Texas. It depends on, it doesn't really have any depending factors, it's just whatever I do. So, like how warm? Actually, I'll look it up, don't tell me, because you're going to tell me in Fahrenheit, then I'm going to have to convert it in my head, because I'm not familiar with Fahrenheit. So my brain's like, and like it's 80 degrees, I'm like, I can't understand. I miss so many aspects of that. I miss a lot. Everything's so accessible and alive. That's how I feel, at least, about Texas and the United States in general. Like you could never get bored. There's always something to do. Even like Austin's a bit more quiet, but there's just always something to do. And if there's not anything to do, you just buy a flight to Mexico and fly to Mexico, and it's like 2 hours, which isn't the greatest constant option if you're spontaneous like I am, but it is fun. So turn that down because it's hurting my eyes. I'm going to put on some comfortable silky pajamas off camera, and I have a pair that makes me look I don't know the word for it. They're like, it's like got my name embroidered on it. My sister gave them to me though. Makes me look a bit, I don't know the word for it. The type of person that has their name embroidered on pajamas. Synonym. I have lots of pairs of pajamas. That's my biggest issue, is just trying to figure out what to do about them. Which ones to keep. There's no option, like ever really a good option to just throw out a pair of pajamas unless they are, I have both pink and blue. I have every option available. Anything you can think of, it's in terms of pajamas, it's here. Like anything. Pajamas is like one thing I just never need and keep buying. So I wish I was just waking up, honestly, but if I go to bed soon, I will just be waking up in the morning. My body is just like not, it's just not used to this. I never adjusted to the time zone here, so it's not very good. I have a terrible sleep schedule, and that doesn't matter because I am moving overseas. Sorry, this camera's going all over the place. I don't know why I moved it just then. I might just put it back where it was. I've probably a fine position for it to be in. Okay. Let's get a light so we can see what we're doing here. Pajamas. Let's find my pajamas and put some on. Then I might put on a face mask. I'm feeling extra. It may be a face mask night. Oh! I just fell over, but no one saw that, so that's fine. I didn't need to announce it, actually. It would have been way cooler if I just didn't fucking say anything. Some of the options. I have these silky ones, which are pink. I have, that's the same ones. I have these silky ones, which are definitely in my top favorite rotation. They are like a little floral moment. And some blue stripy ones. Yeah, these two. I don't know where the blue ones are. Could be anywhere. Nothing's organized in here, so it's difficult. But if I organize everything, then I'm just going to go backwards and not pack all my stuff. I have to say, on the subject of being in America and just waking up, I miss door dashing Starbucks every day. Even though it was retarded how much money I spent on it. Sorry, I'm not allowed to say retarded. We say it's not offensive here. Well, not as offensive, but yeah, I don't mean it in a way to offend people. It just rolls off my tongue like that's silly. You know what I mean? I think it's retarded when people get offended at stuff that was never intended to be offensive. Don't look for stuff to be offended at. There's already enough bad things going on in the world. There's already enough people against you. Don't look for stuff to be offended by. Like, if you look, you'll always find something. That is a waste of time. Back to pajamas. Imagine getting the gift of life, 1 in 400 billion. Out of all of the possible options, you got to be a human against all odds. And then out of all of the infinite possibilities of being a human, out of all the things you decide to be, you're like, I'm going to be offended. Everyone's shaking their heads. Okay. Surely my pajamas will be in here somewhere. There's another pair of pajamas I have. They're like a teddy bear, fluffy number. These are comfortable, but they get pretty warm pretty fast. I don't know what that means. Am I supposed to know who your husband is? Because I don't know who he is. You named him as if I would know who he is. I don't. I don't know anybody called Raymond. And that's the top. Yeah, I'm confused by that. I'm going to just not look at the chat for a while because it's distracting me from my very important task of selecting pajamas. I think it's too hot for these teddy bear ones, to be fair. So I might have to go for the silky pink ones. They are the winner. I typically do like to have a shower before I put pajamas on, but that's not something that you will be joining me for either. So we're just going to cosplay as if that's what I'm doing. That's welcome to the internet. Who knows that Bo Burnham? I can't say his name properly. Welcome to the internet. I sing so well that if I start singing it, this is going to be copyrighted, so I can't do that. You know, like if I start rapping, it gets copyrighted. Because I just sound like identical to a rapper. So otherwise I would rap it, but I can't risk that. Pajama top. It'd be super embarrassing if there was a mirror. I can see there's mirrors in there, but there's no mirrors like facing me. Well, actually, I don't trust that as a possibility. I'm gonna go and do this knowing my luck. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. That is bright. I'm gonna turn this. Oh, what is that? Oh, never mind. I have a hard time walking too, but this is why I have a hard time walking. I just had a surgery. I don't know if that's quite in the same camp as I feel like you were going to tell me that potentially, I'm just going to put the pieces together here from what I've not read and make a bold assumption. As my high school counselor used to say, to assume is to make an ass of you and me, but here I am doing it. I'm going to assume that your husband has some kind of disability. Therefore, by me saying retarded, I'm somehow doing something wrong. But if you remember my point, I said, if someone is saying something without any ill intent, it is a waste of time to get offended. So you can't control what other people say. You just can't. It's honestly, I'm not trying to be an asshole at all, but it's just easier if people don't get offended at stuff. I don't think you were here earlier. I had a slip of the tongue and said something. We use the word in this country. It's not an offensive word, right? Same as like, what, are you Christian or are you Muslim? Whichever one you are, it's kind of the same thing, right? You have certain things that are customary to you, and they might be by proxy offensive to someone else. It doesn't mean you're trying to be offensive. I don't know if you're Christian or Muslim. I can't really tell from your name, but you'll be one of them. And in the fact of being that, you'll still be offensive to people by doing normal things. That was my point. So my point is, why waste your time being offended? Because the only person that suffers is you. And as a byproduct, we now have Muhammad suffering for nothing. Don't suffer, Muhammad. Be happy. Life is too short. I am unreasonably positive. That's what's wrong with me. I have this insane belief, it's crazy, that I think everyone should be at a reasonable level of happiness. I don't think people should be sad. I don't think people should be spending their time being offended. I think people shouldn't suffer on that. That's what's wrong with me. It's an insane thing to believe, but I just believe that people should probably feel better and be happy. And they can't, it's hard to accomplish that if we are, if we're like a ship in an ocean where we're getting thrown around by other people, right? So what I say shouldn't affect you. It really shouldn't. And the more it does, the more you're going to have no control over your life. Because you can't control what other people say and what they do, but you can control if things offend you. So even if someone says something directly to you, to your face in person, we're not in person, I'm on a screen right now, but that you still have a choice. This is like the most simple thing. It's so simple, it sounds absurd how simple it is. But how many people do you know that are actually doing that? How many people? How many friends do you have that come and only talk to you about good things? How many people are in your life that are genuinely just happy for your success and they actually imagine you as a greater person than you are? How many people? Or how many people are there that are just talking about what they don't like, saying that things are, this is bad, this is not good, the economy? Like, how many people do you have that just cheering you on and encouraging you to reach higher than you actually even thought was possible? It might sound twisted, but that is what I'm telling you to do. I'm not telling you to be offended. I'm not telling you to be sad. I'm telling you to be happy and do this and you might feel better. So, no, I don't. I'm living a very good life, actually. What part of this makes you think that? What aspect? Here. Is it this? Is it this? It's because I had surgery. I've just had surgery. That's why. So yeah, I do have a massive bruise on my arm. It's from multiple failed attempts to get a vein in my arm because I was on intravenous antibiotics 6 days and couldn't eat. No, I could eat, they just wouldn't allow me to. So do I need help? Not really anymore, but like, I'm just not complaining. I didn't even think about it until someone said that. It's just not part of my identity. I don't want to be a victim, but I don't want other people to be either. I genuinely just, like, this is the thing, right? I'm saying this with completely 150%, 200%, as much as I could, pure good intentions. That's good intentions there, hoping that someone will take something good from it and that they will feel better as a result. And when I do that, which is, I'm aware this happens, I'm not complaining about it, but like, if you're a smart person, you'll be able to see the situation from a top-down perspective for what's happening. So, genuine intention, here you go. I would like people to feel better. Maybe I don't have all the answers, I'm not claiming to. I'm just saying, this is my way that's worked for me. It might not work for you, but it is good intention when I say it. And when people do that, they're often met with a lot of hostility. What's wrong with you? Do you need help? What universe is someone that is not okay and needing help trying to help other people? It doesn't happen. People that are not in a good place aren't in a position to even consider that. Yes, I was just vacuuming before. It's a Friday night, I'm moving overseas, and everything in my life is fucking amazing. I have no complaints, literally. I can't think of one single thing that I would complain about right now. I've been unfavorably blessed by God and by the universe, and I'm so grateful to be sitting here saying all this stuff, pretty much nothing, not saying it very well. And I know what it's like to be happy. I know what it's like to be sad. And I choose happy every time. And I do have compassion, but it's not really a good use of my time sometimes to put my energy into stuff and have people like actively trying to, when it's actively, it's not cool. But if someone's actively doing that, like these offensive people up here saying things that aren't very nice, if you're trying to insult someone, you're trying to pull them down, right? So you're putting yourself underneath them immediately. So every time you try and drag someone down, insult them, even if you do it in a way it's like kind of covert, it's a bit covert. Oh, it could be this, it could be red either way. Stop denying it. Like, you're just trying to be an asshole. Okay? Every time you do that, you're putting yourself down here. Just don't do, it's not a good thing to do. It's not good for you. It's not good for anyone else. Just really, like, I can obviously deal with it. It's fine. But some people can't. And some people are having a really rough time in their lives. And you never know what someone's going through. So if you have an intention, a good intention, and you mean well, it will always be understood that way by people that want to understand it. So I'm very tired though. I have been awake since super early this morning, and I got pretty much no sleep as well. My sleep's been so bad last night, so I am for sure tired. How old I am, turning 75 this year. People say I look quite good for my age, and yeah, that's not true. I don't share any of my super personal information on the internet. If it's like my name, my just my details. I think it's funny because people are like, I've already spoken about this. People are like, I'm a really private person. I don't like to share stuff on the internet, and because they just don't, they're just embarrassed about, like, I don't know, like putting themselves out there and talking, what people would judge them for. But then they like post when they buy a house, like next to a sold sign, and there's their literal street address. It's like, you're a really private person, but you just posted your street address on the internet for everyone to see. So private. Enjoy your debt. That was not the kindest thing I could have said. It wasn't meant in a offensive way. I think everyone should be proud of whatever they've done, and yeah, just say what you mean and mean what you say. It's hard for me to not say stuff like that when people are saying they're a private person and then they post their address online when they've bought a house, because they have to show everyone, right? Like, oh my God, look, please accept me. But it's good, have empathy for those people, because they're not doing it. They're not doing it because they're villains and they want to, like, you know, they're not villains. They're just early in their journey of life and trying to figure things out, as we all are. We're all on a journey. Hello. I cannot say your name, but that light is annoying me. Kind of want to set up like a comfortable corner. I've tried to make my surroundings as uncomfortable as possible so that I get all of my stuff packed fast, and I'm having a real bad time. Like, it's not working for me, and also I'm uncomfortable, so I feel like setting up like a little snuggly corner. What would make you say that, Mark? I'm curious. Please expand, because we are all looking for a good story, and it sounds like you have one. Go ahead. The floor is yours. While I set up a cozy corner, Mark's going to explain to us what he means. I can't decide if it's, no, it's too dark. All right. Come on, Mark. Explain to the people what you meant by that. Are we in hell? This is a very interesting looking hell. And do explain, please. It would be so interesting. And we definitely need some excitement tonight, so don't let us down. Everyone's counting on you. I'm pretty sure Marcus left the chat, but hopefully he hasn't. Hopefully he comes through. Everyone, cheer for Mark. Come on, Mark. Explain what you meant. Hi. I just want to know, because I want to know if it's another, like, covert insult, or it's just someone that doesn't have a good grasp on, like, context clues. Or actually, I don't know. Just don't ask really stupid questions like that, because it's confusing and then it leads nowhere. So if you're going to ask a question, you have to be prepared to explain it, at least, if it's a cryptic question. Otherwise, shut the fuck up, because you're wasting everyone's time. And I'm going to get some candles going in here, up in her. That's fair, right? If you're going to ask a question, you can't just say it and then just like run away and be scared. You're a man. Don't be afraid. You're our last hope. Men are our last hope. And you're scared and running away because you said something. Come on. I need my faith in humanity restored, and Mark is so far not helping. Is it? Is it hard to hear because of my audio, or is it hard to hear because I'm speaking like a ventriloquist? What if can you hear me? I have no way of figuring out the audio. I don't know why it would be, I'll mute it and then you can hear me. I don't think I can actually write my own. Can I write? Here we go. I'm going to start a poll. I like your name, Wolfgang. That's cool. If I was a guy, I would be so happy if my name was Wolfgang. Is it actually hard for me to hear, or is there just one person saying that? Hard for you to hear, sorry. I'm gonna light some candles as well, because that's very ambient. If I can find a fire starter somewhere. I have like so many of these candles, which are really pretty but super annoying to deal with because they like drip down. I would not blame you all if you all just got bored and left. That would be completely fair, and I would take that one on the chin. But you didn't, which is kind of cool, I guess. Mini candles. This one is limoncello. That's a box down there of stuff that I don't want. The questions can be good. We can ask questions as long as we don't ask questions like Mark. It's fine if you ask a question like Mark as long as you stay around and actually explain yourself. I don't mind. Just an explanation. Otherwise, it's like being part of like a murder mystery and you never get to find out the ending. It'll keep me up at night. So let's get some closure. I have quite a few more candles that I could be running right now, which I may or may not do. That's about as wild as it's going to get in terms of it's a Friday night here. Candles and chill. Oh, there's another candle. Cool. This is awfully ambient, isn't it? This one's not lighting. Oh, there we go. Oh no. Oh well. I think I honestly have enough candles going. It's probably fine. Nice to do a face mask and drink some tea. I am very well, thank you. A little bit tired, but apart from that, I have no complaints. Nothing to complain about particularly. Everything in my life is pretty good. So, how are you? I'm up to making a tea, I think. Behind me, I have a whiteboard. It's just Mike Tyson quotes that I wrote them in chalk myself. Yeah. I think honestly, there's nothing more inspirational than Mike Tyson quotes. Tea. Oh, and here's something I prepared earlier. I really need to put this away. I don't know if anyone's ever like procrastinated that hard that you've categorized a coin jar, but you know it's there. If you think you've reached rock bottom in terms of procrastination, you have not. There was more there, but some of that was actually just went and brought dinner. So, yeah, I will do anything except for what I actually have to do. I'm just going to open the door and see if my cat is hanging out outside because she is not often outside. She's not very active. She's pretty sedentary, actually. Kiko! Kiki! Kiki! Kiko! And I have a chair that I stain removed today while I was procrastinating, which is outside. This is my chair. I don't know if it's like kind of a bit Damn, I might take it inside now. Yep. If you thought that you were procrastinating, now you don't. You have seen nothing. The things I will do, except for what I have to do. Where can I put this chair? Put it somewhere where it's going to dry. Maybe with the shoe rack that I also stain and remove for no reason. That's probably a good idea. Put everything together. Yeah, ADHD, well, ADHD gang rise up, but also don't rise up because we're tired. We probably won't rise at all. Hello, are you from Croatia? Your name looks like it's from Croatia. If so, dobar dan. Let's bring this chair in. This is kind of dry. Actually, this is like pretty much dry. This definitely needs to dry off. This chair is sodden. Oops. Where's Rubia? Is that, sounds like, wait for it, Romania, but I don't think it is. Make some tea. Oh, door open. It's so cold here, you can't even leave the door open, like it will make everything cold. So, very cold, and that's what I'm trying to do for the first time in my life, honestly. I'm really trying to figure it out right now. I'm having a relaxing moment. What the fuck am I supposed to do? So it's me trying to do it right now. I think I'm gonna make a tea. I have a cryptic crossword that I've half done, but that's not really relaxing. It will make me feel angry if I don't finish it. I have a colouring book, but I don't really colour. And I can't really think of anything else. I did used to do a lot of crocheting. That was like a good way to relax, but I don't have any yarn. Don't have any yarns, except for these ones. My favourite cup. It's a self-love club. If you'd like to join the club, let me know. The self-love club. Peace out. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm doing now. Yeah, see, I would smoke a joint and stop overthinking, but when I smoke a joint, I get paranoid and think that things that aren't problems are huge problems. Weed just doesn't, unfortunately. It's not chemically, it doesn't work with me. So, like there's a massive bag right on the table. I don't touch it. I wish it worked for me, because it works for so many people. They seem to love it. It just doesn't work for, you know what? You are in a timeout, sir. That's fun. I put that guy in a timeout. Huh. Cool. Or did I put everyone in a timeout? I don't know. If you say furry muff, you'll be in a timeout too. Anyone who says furry muff, timeout for 5 minutes, and then you'll be blocked forever. What a dumb thing to say. This is the dumbest thing. I would like to restore some of my faith in humanity, because it's just like a lot of these things are just so, they make me so bored, so boring. It's like, furry muff. It's depressing and boring, and I don't even believe in depression, but like, I'd rather talk to a tree than someone saying something silly like that. Congratulations for you. You have blue eyes and blonde hair and you're white. I have very dark brunette hair, but it's dyed blonde. And you can see where it's growing back. The Slavic roots are coming through. Congratulations for you though. Glad that you are aware of your features and you can describe them. Not right now, I'm not funny at all. I'm literally like barely stringing sentences together. I'm so tired that I can't really conceive concepts like humor very well right now. I don't think so. No. In general, yeah, I'd say so. Depending on the situation. Not right now, but I mean, it would kind of suck. It would kind of be pointless for me to think of myself as not that way, right? Why not? Be delusional. Live in the land of delusion. That is fake news. That is not real. I do not need help. That is a little human tendency we call projection. When someone feels uncomfy and they say something to someone else, that's what it means. I don't. No one needs help. It's something that humans who are grappling with themselves a little bit, but they're not aware of it. They're on autopilot, subconscious, disconnected. They say stuff like that because they have uncomfortable feelings and they don't know how to deal with them. So they push it out to people. That's what it is. I'm assuming. With that particular instance, but there's lots of instances like that. And the internet is like, it's like going fishing. The internet's always going to attract some of those people because it smells good. It's nightberry. They don't have an awareness of it. They're not even aware when they're doing it that it's obvious that they're doing it. They think they've done like a slam dunk. They're like, ooh, got them. I asked if they needed help. I got them real good. Yeah, that kind of thing. When I'm saying like stuff's boring, like that kind of stuff makes me very bored because it makes me think this is the capacity of many humans, and I would rather just talk to a tree if they're going to be passive aggressive, or like just no one has time for that, you know, like literally no one has. Who the fuck has time for that? Ain't nobody got time for that. I don't have time for that. So pretty sure that's boiled. Yes. honestly could be down on some Biscoff with a bagel. Kind of, that could be quite lit. Biscoff is really good. I really like this. Yep. Every time someone says that, you're just like making me more and more disenfranchised. I'm getting tired of it because it's very, there's no mental stimulation there. So, if you are going to say something like that and you do want to like mic drop, do a mic drop, you know, like just do something that's do a clever one. Try to be clever about it. Don't say the same shit that everyone else is saying. It's just not, it's not even that it's annoying, it's just boring. Like I'm so bored by that, you know? Someone's already done it and they were boring the first time. So it would be not wise to copy that again and then think it would be funny the second time. I had a very funny uncle. He unfortunately passed away, but he was hilarious. And he always said, if something's funny, never keep going with it. It's never funny the second time. But if it wasn't funny the first time, sure as hell don't do it, because you're not going to get a better outcome. So that's my recommendation there. But yeah. I can't tell, like I'm at the point where I can't tell if people are actually saying stuff to just be, they're just making conversation or they're being assholes. I tend to attract a lot of assholes. So I will tend to assume if it's something like that, that you are trying to be, I don't know, you know what I mean. So I'm sure someone else can explain it better right now because my cognition is just like not at a, like my CPU is just running slow in my brain right now. I'm trying to put this in. Yeah. So I tend to assume that unless you can explain yourself. If you could explain yourself, which would be interesting for the people, why don't you? Because I asked this earlier and a man ran away scared, which was not the best. But if you could explain what you mean by your comment, I think it would be super informative and interesting for everyone. So you said, do you need help? And you said, clap once if you need help. Are you saying that as like a lighthearted, you know, sort of joke, but not quite a joke, just kind of like, haha, I'm Peggy? Or are you just saying it to like make me feel like I should look at myself and think, what is it about me that people think I need help? Maybe I should be insecure. Was that, which one is it? Is it number one or number two? See, I think it's number two. But if you could inform us, because I know you're still there, please do. Because I feel like it would make this live so much more interesting. And that's, you're not the same person. So again, it's just not funny. And I know you think you're being funny, but can you see that I'm not even fucking laughing? If it was funny, I'd do a little like, I'm laughing, but it's just, like, it's 70 minutes now. Now that I'm monetized and there's ads coming through and we've all sat here, it's like, why would I feel bad about that? You know? You're sitting there watching me and trying to have a dig. So I think we should all have good intentions though. At the end of the day, I just don't like it when the lives are like, sometimes I have lives and they're awesome and the people are awesome and the energy is awesome and there's so much interesting stuff, and then sometimes it's like it's a real, you know, negative vibe, and I would like to steer away from that. So if you'd like to learn how to be positive and how to feel good and how to wake up in the morning and think, oh my God, I'm so happy I woke up, I can tell you how to do that in like 1 minute. But if you'd rather stay in the land of average, boring, depressed. What are the rest of the synonyms there? Lacking hope for the future, all of those things, then I guess we won't talk about it. But that's what I'm interested in. That's a genuine interest of mine, is people being positive together and, you know, like creating a more positive atmosphere for everyone. So that's my interest, not really like anything else. Oh, I don't know why I turned that off. That's why like all of the videos that I post are all the same. They're all the same topic. They're all about the same thing. They're all different fonts, but they're all about the same thing. They're all like, this is another way that I have found helps me to do this, and this is how I got here from here. Because I've had some really bad things happen to me in my life. Some, you know, terrible things happen to me. And I don't sit here and say, this is my story, and these are all the bad things that happened to me, and I'm a victim. But I don't think any of you could, honestly, like I am genuinely straight-faced saying this, I don't think anyone could, in this video right now, could live a day in my life and deal with it. It's that hard. And it doesn't look like it because I'm in silky pajamas and I'm doing nothing right now. But, yeah. But it's just the way I deal with it, I guess. I don't think anyone could because it's my life. If they were dropped into my life, probably no one could. Oh my God, that's actually really funny. We've actually got, I'm kidding, that wasn't funny either. Can you guys stop being so fucking gay? Someone, come on. Surely there's someone in the crowd that's funny. Anyone. I will take anything at this point. Anything, really. Someone's funny. I know that. I have an energy sensing thing. Someone's sitting there and they're like, yep, it's me. It is you. You're funny. You say something funny. Not what these other NPCs are saying, because it's not funny. Things are going, I mean, in my life, going very well. In this live, I wish that there were not these, like, the person who said, I'm not even going to read out your name because it's not, I don't know, I just don't want to read it. Blink hard if you need help after someone's already said that and it wasn't funny. And then you don't need help, question mark. For the love of God, just explain what you mean. Is that like a joke? Or are you saying it because you're trying to, again, I think I'm going to read enough comments of people saying, do I need help? And I'll finally look in the mirror and feel bad about myself. Not going to happen. I don't take any form of validation from the outside, good or bad. If someone says, oh my God, you're amazing, good, but I'm not going to base my self-image on it. If someone says, you suck, you're the worst, same thing. I don't hear either of them. I appreciate it if someone says something nice, but it's not, if I was to base my perspective on that, then I would be also having to listen to the booing. And if you're going to get on any public platform and be vulnerable in any way, shape or form, like I potentially am right now, you're going to get that always. It doesn't, I'm not special. I'm just not special in that. That is a widespread phenomena. So, hello. I appreciate that. Thank you. How are things going? And you're cool. Nothing bitter. You're cool. You're cool. That's a cool thing to say, even if you didn't mean it. Say that to everyone. Everyone you meet, tell them they're cool. I guarantee you, your life will astronomically improve in ways that you could not imagine. But you probably already do that because you probably already understand how much it pays you back when you're a nice person. It is a good thing to do. Good thing to do. How do other people deal with, I don't even know what the word for it is. Are we going to get an answer from the person that said, keeps asking me, ASMR mushroom, your name is? You're there. Any one of you. You've all said the same thing and none of you, and now you're just quiet. Like, if you're going to say something, at least own it. This, like, don't be a, you know, don't be a coward. You've said it, so let's not be a coward now. Let's say what we mean. Let's explain it, please. We're all waiting. Just explain what you mean. Just explain what you mean. I do a lot of, yeah, I do a lot of stuff to handle my mentality, but I have done for a long time. I have much bigger things that I have had to overcome and have overcome than internet people being mean. That's just not, yeah. If I was seriously affected by that, then I wouldn't be able to operate in most ways, I guess. So, yeah. I'm just trying to put this in here so that, I don't know, like, it's not really a huge concern for me. So this is not, my YouTube channel is not my entire life, and it's not a reflection of everything, and it's just not, like, it's not a true reflection of reality, right? It's just people. So this is a very very select proportion of people that will say and do that. And I think it's not really like a sign that you are. This is the thing. I think most people, because they think, I'm just trying to fix my light. I don't want it so bright that it's like in my face, blinding me, which it is right now. If you look at anyone that you think is like, has been successful in anything, NBA players, UFC fighters, right? Everyone's just shitting on them all the time. And if that was like if how many people are shitting on you was a like prediction of anything, then no one would achieve anything ever. So the amount of hate you get means nothing. It just doesn't mean anything about anything. It's just the most irrelevant part of the story of your life. Not just for me, for everyone. Yeah. I couldn't think of anything that would be a less, it's not a litmus test for anything. If anything, it's probably a signal that you're going out of your comfort zone. Because when people go out of their comfort zone, no, like, this isn't even like, it's not me again, it's not specific to me, I'm not special in that way, it's every single person that puts themselves in any form of public platform. If they go out of their comfort zone, they tend to shine a little bit. Even if it's just like, they shine because people dislike them, or because they say things in a funny, whatever it is, they say things in a weird way. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. If anything, take that as a signal that you're going out of your comfort zone. Because it's much more comfortable to be behind a screen and to be not saying anything, you know? Like, it's harder to sit here and to not, you know, potentially think, well, what's the point of this? I could be doing something much more, you know, exciting than this. Why would I be doing this? Because it's out of my comfort zone, and it's something that is not familiar to me, totally. It's not like I've been doing this forever. And I don't know, I just don't want to sit around and try and be like everyone else. So I'm sitting on the floor and drinking tea and trying to be a philosopher. I'm just not interested in being average like everyone else. So this is like the only part of my quarters that is kind of not in boxes, but everything over there is just in boxes. Because I am moving overseas, which is also out of my comfort zone. And I'm traveling as well, so I am probably putting my stuff in storage, then doing my traveling, then settling down in the country that I'm moving to. But I have a lot to look forward to, a lot to be grateful for, and I have a absolutely useless, this is like meant to be a duster. Sorry, it just caught my eye. Don't ever, if you see this in the shops, don't buy this. It doesn't do anything. It leaves green bits of fuzz everywhere. Like, imagine trying to dust something and you make it more fuzzy with green bits. It's like Shrek came over or something. Doesn't work. I don't know what it's called, but it's like some brand of something. It's like, the best duster you'll ever have. The lie detector determined that was a lie. So yeah, don't get one of these. I also am almost finished writing a book, but I hand wrote it. I was overseas for 7 months on vacation, you could say, and I've got a whole bunch of notebooks over there where I wrote by hand. I don't know why I did that. That was very strange and off-brand for me. But yeah, it's been interesting to transcribe all of it. I like work with computer stuff in terms of like not like hardware, software. So handwriting things is not really something I do heaps, but I did actually study, when I did graduated university, I ended up doing 2 qualifications, and one of them, the other one, is in English literature. I don't know why I did it, but I decided to take, this was before, there's like a line in the sand before and after I did something called Landmark Forum. So I was pretty young at the time as well, but I finished all of my studies and I had like quite a lot left, and I did it all in 1 year, squished it all in. I can't remember how many I did, but full-time is like 4 papers a semester. I was doing, can't remember, it was like 6 or 7, plus I did summer school, and I was working full-time in a fruit and vegetable shop. But yeah, before I did Landmark Forum, which is a very intensive like course slash, I don't know how you would describe it, on, they really do, like, they break your they just break your ego completely, and you just think completely differently afterwards. And then after that, I like left university, said I was like taking a semester off. It had only been 1 semester, but I was working in a call center, and I was working with people that were like in their 40s, and that was their whole life, and all they did was work in the call center, and I thought I was making good money at the time because I didn't really know what good money was. Yeah, and I did that, and then at the time, like, my mum was still around, and I did the Landmark Forum and decided to, like, I remember saying it to her, I was like, oh, like, this was a couple of years ago, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go back and finish university, and she was super, super happy. She even drove me to university to sign up for summer school, which was so off-brand for her because she didn't like driving ever. She would like not drive if she had the chance. So yeah, and I finished all of it, and I was a completely different person when I came out of that. Um, again, it's just like another intensive way of, I guess, it just reprograms my mind to not, it reprograms people to not see, like, failure. So, like, when your brain thinks, what would you do if there was no chance of, like, what would you attempt if you knew you could not fail? Your brain kind of got hardwired to never perceive failure. And it works incredibly well for people. There's so many success stories from it. So, stuff like that is really good. And when I did that Landmark Forum course, I couldn't listen to anything. Like, I was so sensitive to, even if I put the, like, music on in my car, I tried to put, like, take off the aux, like my phone connected by Bluetooth, and put on the radio, and I couldn't listen to it. Thank you. Yes, some philosophy, I guess. I've got a bunch of special interests that I know way too much about. My special interests are archaeology, geology, mainly archaeology, certain areas of the human body, but mainly like the brain and how we work. Because, like, it's advantageous for me. It helps with so many different things, and I am genuinely interested in it anyway, so it doesn't feel like a task. But yeah. What have we got written here? Active denial system. Do you guys know about the active denial system? It is a non-lethal directly, what have I written here? A non-lethal directed energy weapon developed by the USA Army for area denial, perimeter security, and crowd control. Raytheon, this is my notes, it's probably quite bad, and was developed in 2010, Afghanistan war, and withdrawn allegedly. Yeah, active denial system, the reason it's interesting is because they use a frequency. That's how it's done. So when I'm talking about, like, your mindset and stuff, that's all about a frequency. You can actually measure how much you calibrate on. So people calibrate, anything under 200 is actually not the truth. But under 200 is like feeling disempowered, feeling jealous, feeling like a victim, feeling whatever these things, that's calibrating under 200, and any hope is 200, and then anything above up to about 600 for humans. 600 is like love, but there's a calibration that's 4,000 times unconditional love, and that is authenticity. You can look that up if you want. It's not my opinion. It's science, and I can't pronounce that word, kinesthesiology. But yeah, the active denial system. So that 100% works. It's a military weapon where you can control people. They feel like they're on fire. They'll start vomiting. All these sorts of things. Like, it's quite bad, the effects that it has on people. The reason it's interesting, I'm not saying it's bad, good or bad, thank you for subscribing, is because they do it with a frequency. We're talking about the active denial system, which is a non-lethal directed energy, meaning frequency energy weapon, which was developed by the USA Army for perimeter security, crowd control, but it was actually developed for 2010 for Afghanistan. And what it does is it controls people via a frequency. Yeah, so the frequency, it can make them feel all these different things. That's why it's important, is it, like, that hopefully goes to show you how real and powerful frequency is, and how what you emit is very powerful. Good or bad. If it's bad, you're not taking people down usually, you're just kind of repelling people. So this universe is an inclusion-based universe only. There is no exclusion. So when you look at something and you say yes, you include it. When you look at something you don't like and you shout no at it, you include it. That's why you can't talk about something that you don't like and not include it in your reality, it will just keep repeating itself. You can't tell the story of something you don't want, or be like, I'm just going to vent. Venting, you're just recreating it in your reality. There's no possibility that it can't recreate. Because when you tell a story, you have to feel the emotions of it. When you feel the emotions of it, the emotions release peptides. If you want to know about that, look at The Peptides of Emotion by Dr. Candace Pert. She is a neuroscientist that found all of the receptors in the brain. The marijuana receptor. What is the other one called? Not, I was going to say here. The opioid, that's it, opioid receptor. She found all the receptors in the brain. She also found that emotions produce molecules and peptides, and they stay in your body, usually, unless you know how to supersede it. So all of this stuff is super interesting, and yeah, it's real. They become disorientated. They can change how they feel. With active denial system, they can make them feel like they're on fire. They can. I actually need to look it up. There's all sorts of things they can do, which is crazy. But they've got, like, along with that, they've got the I've done the gateway tapes, which is it's like a CIA. It was previously classified. This was their words, not mine. A way to transcend time-space reality. This is the USA government in the 70s, and it's like a meditation. They're actually on YouTube. You can do them. I've done them. They're not dangerous, but if you get quite far, into the tapes, people have often said they can hear other people's thoughts, and they don't like that. Crazy, but it's quite good meditation, but it makes you feel quite energetic afterwards. It's not a relaxation one. It's like a binaural. Binaural is where they put two different frequencies in each ear, like to hear, because you can't hear 3 hertz, right? You can't hear it with your human ears, but if you put 100 and 103 hertz, your ears create a wobble, and that shows you the 3 hertz, so then you can hear it. What was I looking up? Active denial system. I think my mouse is dead. I really want to do a video on this, and also I've been really wanting to do a video on the emerald tablets and how that links in with the evidence. I'll say this is my I don't believe in evolution, but every single religious text has the same story about how we came about, and it's in the emerald tablets as well, which are very old. They're old, like, hieroglyphics, and they have the instructions on how to extract human DNA, and they are 35,000 years old. Interesting as well, the Egyptian tomb, the king's tomb, has the Alpha Omega inscribed on it, and that is, someone needs to tell me how old that tomb is, but Alpha Omega was invented way after that, so those Egyptian kings were absolutely onto something and had some real high technology stuff. Thank you. Thank you. Cheers. Active denial. Actually, speaking of Pakistan, I saw a very funny video of a guy said he was partying in India. He called the radio in Australia. It was very funny. He was like, I was partying in India. I got so drunk that I woke up in Pakistan. It was very funny. They like opened the border for 5 hours or something, and he ended up there. They were, you're correct. They were using frequency. They have the Egyptian kings, some of them ruled for like 300 years and stuff, allegedly. There's a lot of stuff that went on there that's very interesting. Because I studied archaeology and I couldn't understand, especially like when I was studying it, because I kind of was a bit fresh to the subject. I did a lot of stuff on just human and like hominids and Homo sapiens and I don't like saying the Homo erectus one. It just like gives me the ick. Neanderthals. And what I couldn't understand, I just can't, like, I used to have to say it in class and I would be like, Homo erectus. And they'd be like, what is that? I was like, I can't say it. Like, can we just call it something else? It's so, like, there's two things in there that don't go good together. And we're using both of them in a sentence. Anything else. Anyway, the Homo sapiens of the humans, they just bang and they were there. There was no evolution. So I 100% believe in it. There's, if you want to look it up, there's many studies where they have attached little magnets to people's heads and they've been able to measure frequency. They've done tests where they've had someone think about something, like hold an image in their mind, and they've had like a, I think it's an, hang on, which one is the brain? Because I want to say ECG, but it's not, it's EEG. It's an EEG. They've then seen the image in another person. Like, that's how crazy it is. They've like sent an intention and then they can measure it in the other person. Our thoughts, 100% of it, it's not that I believe it, it's that I feel like I'm past the point of believing it. Before I had evidence, I already believed it, and then I used to do, like, I'd like experiment with it and do all sorts of things, and they would just miraculously happen, and I was like, this is crazy. But the more I looked into it, the more it all made sense. And it's in every single religious text all has these similar accounts of these things. So, can you explain what you mean by that, Jill? Joel sad. Joel sad. Do I look sad? Do I look sad? Does this face look sad? Does this face look bothered? Do I look sad? It's a very interesting sad looking person. I look like the most jovial sad looking person, but you know what? I will reserve judgment. Am I sad? Please explain what you mean. Disappointed and crazy sounds like 80% of the population. Maybe they're using that now. Sounds like they could be using it, because I've seen a lot of people tonight that are disappointed and crazy. No, that's a joke. Yeah, it's more like, what can we take from that? That it's very real, that frequency, which again, everything has a frequency. Nothing isn't moving. This mouse looks static. It's because it's more dense. Just because it's dense, it doesn't mean it's not vibrating. Everything's vibrating. When you drop down into lower levels of frequency, you feel heavier. You might notice when you're in a lower mood, you feel heavier. And then when you're in a good mood, you feel lighter. It's because you're literally more dense. So the more like lower you come down in terms of calibration, the more dense you become. The higher in calibration, the less dense you are. This is very, very dense in terms of energy. I'm just talking about physics now. That's just physics. So that's just like dense, dense, dense. And then things that you see moving and vibrating are not as dense in terms of their physical matter. But the physical matter is still moving. Everything's moving. Everything's in a state of flux, and energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transmuted, which is, I believe, the second law of thermodynamics. So that's where the vibration and the frequency of the thoughts comes in. Because if thoughts are energy, which they are, and they can't be, without even saying them, they can't be destroyed, they can only be transmuted. So what do they become transmuted into? Quantum entanglement. seems my internet is not liking me on this. Oh, yep, I'm not connected. On here. Biggie. It's honestly, it is it is a good, it's not even a topic. It's like more than a topic. It's like, wow, look, turns out we can just do whatever we want. It's always good to have that reminder, because as humans, we forget. All of us forget. It's like we have this constant, what's the word for it? What's the word for it when you forget stuff every morning? But it's like, what is that? And it's on the tip of my tongue. Why can't I remember it? Whatever. Why can't I remember that? You know when people forget stuff, like as if like they have a memory problem and they will never remember anything the next day. Humans have that with forgetting about this. It's just you'll have a lapse all the time. Joe Dispenza is really, really good at explaining it, and if you listen to enough Joe Dispenza, it will start changing your brain completely. But yeah, it's just not disconnecting, reminding yourself to not disconnect, because when you disconnect in the moment, you'll hopefully have a reminder. Like, if you set your life up that way, it becomes very, 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 like, it's not that easy to completely disconnect. It does happen if something bad happens, but you just jump straight back into alignment. But when you are out of alignment, you feel bad. You have negative emotions, and that's just a signal. There's all that stuff, like when people talk about, I think like, Kiko. Okay, no. I don't know what my cat is. When people have like feelings of depression, that is just like, it's a warning signal that you're disconnected, and that whatever you're doing, you're out of step with what you want, or you're out of step with what it is that you believe you're capable of, or you're doing something for the sake of someone else and not yourself. All of that stuff, it's a signal. How else would you know? That's how you know. How else would you know? How are you going to know if you're like on the wrong path? That's your body and your brain is telling you, hey, please feel bad so that you can correct your course, because you are not meant to be doing this, or you're not meant to be like, otherwise we'd all just be, I don't know, sitting around with stones, still like hunting, right? But we've evolved, so we have that within us. But we need to recognize what negative emotions are. They're not bad, they're not a failure, and they're not a disease. They are a warning signal telling you to correct your course, or telling you like you have the potential within you to be doing more, and you know that, and whatever you think you can't do, like, it's within you and you can do it. And that's what that negative emotion is. It's like a struggle of like, and the more you tap into it, you can feel it. Like, it's like a sixth sense. It's hard to sense it when you aren't used to it. If you're not familiar with it, it will feel like you are making stuff up in your head. That's how it feels. It just feels like you're lying to yourself, and you second guess yourself, and you look for reassurance with other people, but you can't do that, because it doesn't come from other people, it comes from you. And other people are going to tell you to do what suits them, not because they're bad, because that's how humans operate, the human condition. No one is going to empower you. That's not their job. Like, no one else is going to empower you. Not really. Like, it's not their job to make you the best version of yourself. It's your job. And if people are close to you, friends and family, even if they're good people, they will not really be able to empower you to be at your full destiny if it threatens their security. It's very important to remember. And it doesn't make them bad. You'll do the same thing to other people. It's part of the human condition. So when we don't look to other people for that, then we find it within ourselves, and we can be more giving because we're not reliant on them to validate us. And if they don't validate us, they're bad. And if they do validate us, they're good. You can see how, like, it's all backwards, right? Because when we're detached from people, we can be a good person. But when we're not, and we're like, oh, but other people's opinions matter, but what about this? You've spent time with people that are super caught up in everyone else and what they think. Are they fun to be around? No, because they're so busy looking at everyone else and trying to pivot to avoid, I don't know, avoid being not accepted and all those sorts of things, that they can't be what we would call like the antithetical of selfish, right? People think it's selfish if you don't outsource your validation, if you don't hear the negative talk from your family and friends, because believe me, it is not something that only a few of us have. It's pretty much across the board, and it's not because we all have, it's not that there's a whole bunch of toxic people around. People aren't toxic. It's just the human condition, literally. And we interpret it as, oh, people are being, like, how many people have we heard now saying their ex is toxic, saying their ex is narcissistic? I'm sorry. Narcissists are almost never diagnosed. And if they are, they're diagnosed as a criminal investigation. So when someone says their ex is a narcissist and you say to them, who diagnosed them, which psychiatrist? And they say, oh, they weren't diagnosed. I just think of it because of this. And you go, so you're calling someone a narcissist, you're telling everyone that they have a mental condition that they don't have, and you're lying. The two first signs of a narcissist is to lie and to accuse someone of having a cluster B personality disorder that they don't have. So two. The third one, the third marker of a narcissist, if you want to like bum someone out, is they have to be the victim in the story, which is calling someone else a narcissist, because like it's a cluster B personality disorder. It's very rare, actually. It's not that common. But why do we handpick some random mental disorder and label people with it, and they suddenly become like the demon character? Whereas if they had bipolar, you wouldn't say that. Like, why do what is it about like people that don't understand this sort of thing in society thinking if they say that their ex is narcissist that it makes them look like a good person? Where did you read literature saying someone with that type of cluster B personality disorder chose to do that because they're just a bad person? Oh, that's right, because that's not how it works. Why is one personality disorder perceived by society as inherently and morally bad? Because that doesn't exist. People are not inherently and morally bad. And in the instances that they do things that are morally bad, they fall into the psychopathic and, well, there's another word for it, when they're always by themselves. That one. They can do things like that because they can't feel emotions, but it's not like, that's the sort of thing that makes me bored. When people talk about it, they're like, oh, my ex is narcissist. I'm like, I'm gonna fall asleep. I can't. I think, no, it's not. I think it's thinking of something else. Narcissistic personality disorder is a DSM-5 diagnostic material for, hang on, diagnostic, blah, 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 volume 5. is it's a personality disorder. So it controls them. It's not a choice. Behaviors, I wouldn't even say that. It's like saying bipolar behaviors. It's like, do you have bipolar or not? I'm talking about bipolar as like the type 1. I don't have any of these disorders. I'm just talking about them because they're the ones I kind of know about. But people with true bipolar, I had an auntie that had true, like type 1 bipolar. It's not happy and sad. She would be like, they have delusions of thinking they're like a religious figure and stuff. They swing between psychosis and being catatonic. So it's in the same cluster as that. But again, people are only really diagnosed with NPD when they have committed a serious crime like murder, and they have to be evaluated by a criminal psychiatrist. It's not usually for any other reason. So, but I think when we say narcissistic behaviors, everyone has these like I can't even understand that comment. It's very poorly formatted and written to the point that I can't even interpret it. Everyone does have those though. They sit on a scale of where they sit there, but it doesn't make them like bad. I would much rather be I'd much rather be sitting higher on that scale. I'd also much rather be marrying someone much higher on that scale, because people that have a much higher sense of self-belief and think that they are good enough. Oh my gosh, that didn't hurt. Think that they are good enough, tend to achieve very highly, tend to be financially successful, and tend to be happier. People, I mean, I wouldn't want to be on the other side of the scale, because that's self-depreciating, I guess, and it's not a good place to be. You don't have to like, what's the word for it? You don't have to deflect it out onto people, and don't, tell people, hey, I think I'm great, but you should probably think you're great. You shouldn't think anything less than that. You should think that you are, you shouldn't have, no one should think higher than you do. You should have the highest opinion of yourself. And that's not going to manifest as like toxic behaviors. The toxic behaviors come from the opposite. People act in negative ways where they're not kind to people, where they insult people, where they manipulate people. They don't do that because they think they're great. They do that because they feel inadequate. When people feel inadequate and they have low self-esteem, they need to take from others. They pull you down because they are down here in every sense. So it's advisable to feel good about yourself and to have a good self-esteem against all odds, no matter what anyone says to you. It doesn't matter what anyone says to you. You guys could comment anything here and it's not going to change how I see myself. Well, my auntie was like much older, because I have like lots of older, I just had an uncle die actually like 5 days ago. My mum was 1 in 12 kids though, so like massive family. And I had an auntie with bipolar. So she was like much older than my mum. She was born with it. She was a completely normal, like very well-behaved student. I feel like she was like 20 years older than my mum or something. And just one day she thought she was the Virgin Mary, and she'd had all this money saved up and she threw it all in the sea. And she was like a very well-behaved student, and she was naked as well, which was very difficult for my mum's family because they were very devout Catholics. So that's the very extreme type, I think. What happens to them, I believe, from my understanding, is people with bipolar, they have some sort of imbalance. I'm not sure what it is, but they can't sleep for like weeks, and because they can't sleep, it ends up putting them into a psychosis. I'm not quite sure about like the chemical like things that take place for bipolar. I don't quite know, but that, yeah, if you look at like it's quite interesting. If you look at just Google Reddit, I found this pretty interesting to read because I had no idea about it. My first psychotic episode, people are pretty descriptive, and it gives you a pretty clear understanding of what goes on. Like, they tend to follow a similar pattern. So, yeah, I recommend you Google that. People's like first psychotic episode on Reddit. It's a very interesting thread. They're like, oh, I stole a motorbike, and then I went and joined a gang, and then I started singing a lead singer of a band, and then it just keeps going on and on and on. You're like, whoa, this can't get any crazier. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, well, it's hard to say. I feel like with stuff like that with celebrities, it's like, until we know them personally, it's always just like what people said about them. So they're like become caricatures almost in our world. Like, he's this, he's like this, the bad character in a movie, but like realistically, maybe he wasn't so much like that. I don't know, because I didn't meet him. So, but like, if you think about yourself, and if you were to be super famous and then you passed away, people would tend to have like it's a polarity humans want to put people in. Like, they were a good person, they were morally bad. I don't think people are either. I think they're just, often people are just doing their best with what they think is the best thing to do at the time, and I don't think many people, I really don't think many people are morally bad, and I don't think they set out to be bad. I think they honestly are just trying. They're like, this is the best I can do. And people that are very successful tend to be lower self-esteem. They have a lot of lacking. They feel lack, so they want to overcompensate for it, which is why they can overachieve. Yeah. My bagel is ready. No, it's not. Yeah. Anyone I've met who's very, very much in the public eye, they're very different to what I would have imagined and what I guess has been said about them. But hello, hi King Mouse. I'm so ready to go to bed. Not because of that, but just because I am ready to go to bed. But this has been most engaging. A shadow self, when someone says you're annoying us. Yeah, I think so. Like, it's definitely true to a certain extent, but I don't even think now about what other people think. Like, it doesn't, for me, I'm like, I'm so glitched out of the matrix. I'm like, it doesn't matter I don't even care what people think. Like, I do enough to understand it, but I don't stay there. It's like other people's intentions just aren't relevant, if that makes sense. Because the more we think about other people's intentions, the more like we go into a infinite Tsukuyomu, and then we have to, like, especially if someone's annoyed us, we have to make them wrong in our head. Not you, not like people that don't know any better, like all of us. It's very hard to not do that. The best thing to do is to not think about people's intentions, or not try and figure them out. You'll never figure people out. It's easier not to. But yeah, like, in saying all of that, I don't assume I'm more aware in any subject than anyone. It's just a different perspective. And it's like that fuck around and find out chart. I've fucked around and found out about so many different things. It's like there's almost no going back. And I do feel kind of a sense of longing to be very ignorant, but at the same time, I'm pretty satisfied like this. It's just like, I'm extreme, so I should what? What should I do? Should I go to bed because I look so tired, my eyes aren't even staying up. I will go to bed, but not because you told me to, because I'm like an aggressive child right now. Yeah, I'm going to make my awesome Biscoff spread bagel, yum, and have some more. This is really nice as well. This tea, actually, this is this tea's fault. This tea will always put me to sleep. I felt like I needed to fall asleep 2 hours ago. I don't know how I've stayed awake. It's kind of impressive and insane. But yeah, I was working at like 3:30 this morning. Then I went for a walk for the sunrise. I was out walking for ages. I have not stopped today. Today's been all go, and I still have, I'm pretty fresh out of surgery, so it's like still quite painful, and I forget that I should be, you know, not pushing myself 110% all of the time with this. But yeah, that's something that I need to work on, is learning how to chill, because it's not a skill I have. If you have any trouble sleeping, seriously, actually run this tea. Like, if you run this tea, you will have no issues at all. In fact, you'll have trouble speaking. That's how effective it is. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to eat this. It's the best thing ever. I'm 100% going to have some of this spread on the knife as well, like so. I agree. You're pretty cool. I am an INTJ, MBTI. That's my personality type. This is my personal spread. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't eat it out of the, like if this was like a communal flat. I don't know if you guys call them roommates or flatmates, but we call them flatmates. If this was shared, I wouldn't be doing this. It's just mine. Anyway, I agree with you. Zen, and I am, yeah, I said that, INTJ. Which is, if you look up a female INTJ, it's like to a T. They're like unapproachable, seems cold. Beth in The Queen's Gambit is the first character based on a female INTJ. Chess player, which is interesting. And I very much like playing chess, but for now, I'm going to say adios. Wait, that was awful. I'm so cringed out that I mispronounced that so badly. Let's do that again. Goodbye. Good night. Sweet dreams. Thanks for hanging out. And I hope, I need to watch that, but I also need to go to sleep. I hope everyone has an amazing day and night. Have positive thoughts. I think you're awesome, all of you. Even the ones that were not so awesome, I still, you know, think that you are inherently good people. So think the best of yourself. Imagine some good things and have a beautiful day. Peace.